All right. So you want to know how to merge the mail list, right? Okay.
So basically what's going to happen is this is going to automatically populate the information
into the letters
slots where you want it to be, right?
And the envelopes. And you can customize the merge field. So like if you want in the letter for it to just say the first name and it's a very generic letter and you don't want it to have any property information in it, like say you're targeting a person and you don't know if they have properties, but you're just trying to market yourself and brand yourself and like spread the word, then you don't need to include like a site address in it. But if you have like a drive-by and you have an actual address, or if you snap a picture, like you can put those things in the letter and then you can customize the address. Okay. So obviously you need a list first. I'm going to pull up one of ours. Let's see. I'm going to try not to get a big one. Okay, this one's not that big. All right, so you have your list, and this is just one of the lists that we downloaded from our smart system. And I'm not tweaking any of the fields. Like you've got your mail address, you've got your city, your state, the name, and then you also have site address and site city. And if you're doing mailers, it's important to have both those fields in your list because you want to have the place that you're marketing about and the place that you're actually mailing the letter to. So I'll open another copy of this. So right here, I've got like fields in here, but this is like my letter. This is my yellow letter direct, and this is what I sent you. So we're going to do we're going to go to select recipients, and you're under mailings. Select recipients, use an existing list. And I'm going to go back into where my list is. There's my Hoboken properties.
I don't know if this was even worth mailing. Bought in 2014 for $139.
Whatever, I'll just use a different one. There it is. All right, so I'm going to select my list. Yes, and it's just going to be the entire worksheet. So now the list is in my document, but now I have to insert my mail field. So I'll just start from scratch here. Obviously, I take this period out because sometimes when you preview it, it like does like auto spaces and it doesn't look right with the periods. So I just space it out. I insert my merge fields, and I want to have.
These are custom ones that you put in?
No. So when you select after you've put your list in here, so you go to select recipients. You're using an existing list because you already have your Excel file saved in the background. When you select the list, it's going to like be in the background here, and it's not in here yet in the actual document because you haven't selected the merge fields. When you select insert merge fields, all of these fields are fields that are in my Excel file. So this is like essentially blank or generic before you select the actual Excel file. So now that I have that, these are all the columns that are in my list in the background. So I'm going to select my site address, comma, and then I'm just going to put my site city.
Oh, so simple.
And then I'm just going to put a period. And up in dear, insert mail, my merge field, and the name. And then say if you have like another piece of information in here, all you have to do is go to where you want it to say it and insert the merge field. Right. And then you're going to go to finish and merge. And I always select edit individual documents because it will literally open up another. See, now I've got all my names and I've got my addresses in here, and it's going to show you every single document. Every line item. These are all my letters. So now I've got, and it takes a little bit to load, so it only shows 18 here, but like as you scroll down and as it loads, it'll keep populating. So then you can literally just print. And then for the letters, this is one of them. Now, Phil and I kind of have differing opinions about this. He thinks that we were using this envelope design as like our first round mailers because it's branded. But that second envelope that I sent you, I personally actually think it's smarter to use that as your first round mailer because me like coming at like looking at it from like a neutral perspective
That's the one that says like, did you see this? Or
yeah,
something?
because it's like a question. You're just like, what is this? Like, what did I see? What? And there's no branding on it. There's no company name. So you don't know what's in that. It's going to leave more question for somebody to open it because like for someone who actually looks at envelopes, if you see a company logo or brand on it that you have no affiliation to, like, do you really need to open it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you can try it out. Phil likes to use those better. I actually prefer using the other ones now. But so you have your thing on here, and then I'm going to do,
You just plug it in the middle.
again, but you're going to do the same thing. You have to select your list. So you're going to go to mailings. You're going to use existing list. I'm going to go, oh, no problem. This is my list that I used. Open up. Okay, so now it's in here. I'm going to insert a text box. And you just want to make sure, because like sometimes the text box obviously has like style panes in it. So, format pane. I like using
You're
that.
talking about the outline?
Yeah. Come on. There we go. And now I'm just gonna, in here, in the text box, I'm going back to mailings, write and insert merge field. So I'm gonna do my name on the top line. Second line is gonna have mail address, enter, mail city, comma, mail state, and mail zip. And then like, obviously if you want to match this, you can just, you literally just highlight this and you just change the text. So I want it to be Arial, and I want it to be one bold, one line bigger. I want to position that a little bit better because I know that some of these names get long, and I might want to change the color to like blue, whatever. Now I go to my mailings, finish and merge, edit individual documents.
Is that it?
Bam. And then obviously, like, if you don't like this, if you don't like the
Just go back
placement,
and
you just X this out, don't save. You come back in here and you just fix it. Mail merge, edit individual documents. Obviously, when you've got lists that are like thousands, it takes a little bit longer because obviously it's populating way more information than just one. So here's my envelopes and here's my letters, and then you just fucking print. It's sick, right? But now, like, if you want to get a little bit more detailed, so say one of my biggest pet peeves, and it takes a lot longer if you've got longer lists, but you don't like that that everything is capitalized, because especially like when we download lists from our smart system, everything in here is capital. If you go into the list, there's so many different things that you can do inside your list that can like format things better. So one of my favorite formulas is proper equals proper. Then it's going to tell you to select the field, close your parentheses, tab, and it's going to put it into proper format. You just copy and drag your formula down, and look, now you've got all of your, now when you do formulas like this, where you're adjusting the formatting, this cell, like you can't just delete this now, because this cell is now, the value in the cell is
working off of this.
Is working off of this.
That goes.
Exactly. So
Okay.
you just insert another column, and I'm just going to
Copy paste.
copy, but you want to make sure that you're pasting value only. So you do paste special values. And now you've got the value there, and you can come here.
Wait, what would happen if you just did a regular copy and paste?
Copy and paste is going to copy the actual value, the result, plus the formula. So if you just delete the original fields, it'll get rid of the formula, and then you'll have like a zero value there. It won't put anything there. So now I have my name column, and I can literally just remove these two columns. And then now your name column is proper. So when you do your merge, it'll merge the same format as everything else. And that's obviously like if you're using one of our lists, because that happens all the time. I'm trying to think of like other things that you might want to do. Like, I don't know if you know anything about filtering, but like when we download our list, so like say you ever want us to pull a list from one of our systems and we send it to you, but you want to filter it out and just get certain information. One of our favorite ones is, you know, you highlight your header column, and I don't see it on here. So no, data is a big one. Filter. Now you have drop downs in all of your things. So say you just want to see properties for Hudson.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
So now, and Hudson and Passaic, so you could do stuff like that. Or say you want to look
Will
at.
this create a brand new list for you, or will just basically just show that information?
It'll just show the information that's within the field, but it'll filter out other things that you don't want to see.
Okay.
And like in here, so say you're looking for just LLCs, you can type in LLC. All right, there's none in here. Or if you want to make sure that the list doesn't have any banks in it, then you can get rid of that. This one's a pretty straightforward, just property list, doesn't have a lot of that stuff in there.
Okay, that's cool.
Trying to think of what else might be beneficial to you. Like, again, if you have a big list and like, say you don't want to delete this information, you want to retain it, but you don't necessarily need to see it right now. Like, this shit's never useful to us.
Mm-hmm.
You can group these columns and it'll put like a minimizer tab up here. And then all you have to do is hit your subtraction sign and it'll make it all minimized. So you're not hiding individual columns.
So where is it?
That little plus sign. You go boop.
Oh, that's it.
And it opens and closes. And if you want to undo that, you just select the columns. Then you just hit ungroup and it goes away. If you ever want to like copy like a list that you've created, but you want to move it into a different like spreadsheet, you can left click, or excuse me, right click, whatever you call it. And you can do move or copy, and you can move this page, create a copy, and you can create a copy to a new book and it'll open up in a brand new spreadsheet. So like say you filter out your list and you want to save it as a separate list so that you're not constantly looking at the same master one, you just edit it and then move it to a new list. But literally like everything that I've taught myself inside Excel, I've learned off YouTube. So like if there's something that you want to do within Word, or there's something you want to do within Excel, but you know it's like a complex process, just type in how to do this on YouTube, and there's formulas for fucking everything.
I mean, I use that shit all the time for just stupid shit on the computer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right, cool.
That mail merge is.
That was pretty straightforward. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.